again, my dear students. We are now in lesson 2. For the meantime, we're here in the mountain. So, our first lesson was held in the downtown area of my hometown. For today, to have a more positive outlook in life, we are here in the upland. This is Kabulisan, Inupakan, Leyte. So, enjoy first the view so that you will have a positive outlook. You would appreciate more what is art, and we would also appreciate more what is contemporary world. Good morning once again to you, my dear students. It's a beautiful morning. It's a sunny day. Now, uh, good morning once again to my students in contemporary world. Good afternoon and good evening to those who are assigned in the night class. Now, last meeting we have discussed the different sources also of globalization, and I would like to congratulate those who have submitted their assignments on time. For those who are not able to submit, because I think they still lack the materials, most especially the internet, the laptop, or the tablets, I will give you another extension up to Monday. Okay? Now, when we speak of globalization, we are referring really to the globe, the international world. Because of this globalization, the developing countries right now are more quite convenient than third world countries. Big companies, multi-million companies, shifted their companies to the developing country. Say, for example, the United States of America. Instead of putting their companies in the US, they place it in a developing country such as China. Why? The cost of production there is very cheap, very low. They there is no rally, no strike because it's a commun. It's I mean, it's not a democratic country, right? Now, for today, I will focus more on economics because globalization is more on that. It was the name was just being changed. So contemporary world related to globalization, but eventually it's economics. Since economics has been removed in your curriculum but is now added in this particular subject, I will discuss more on economics. There are a lot of definitions of economics as defined by Adam Smith, who is the father also of economics, and the rest authors are also copying from one another. So never mind if you also copied from your classmates, but right now I don't think you can copy because of this pandemic. Eventually, authors are also copying from one another. There is no exact definition of that particular word, I mean. So let's go to economics. Next meeting, I will be distributing your workbook. There is a workbook for this subject, and that is a requirement. Okay? Now, economics, as defined by Bermudez as the source of my book, as the source of the workbook, actually, is a study. Economics is a science that deals with the study of the proper allocation, utilization, and effective use of scarce resources to satisfy unlimited human wants. Again, according to Bermudez, it is a study, it is a science that deals with the study of the proper allocation, utilization, and effective use of scarce resources to satisfy unlimited human wants. Now let us discuss each, okay? So, since it is a science, it is a body of knowledge that deals with the sakto na paggamit hit resources. Why? Why do we need to use the resources exactly? Because the point here is that the resources are very limited. Okay? We have a very limited resources, but the demands, the needs is unlimited. Resources are very scarce. Now, if you will use it and use it with the and using it effectively, the tendency there would be scarcity of resources, kakulangan ng resources. Now, one of the basic characteristics of human being is that we are insatiable. insatiable, meaning to say we can never be satisfied. That's one human instinct. Okay, so say for example, when you were still in your senior high, you wanted a cell phone, Oppo cell phone. But later on, when you go to college, you like another kind of cell phone, more high tech. We call the iPhone. See, you are not satisfied. We can never be satisfied at all. Another, for example, a very basic example. When you were in high school, you really have the crush on your band major. So you courted her and then you become girlfriend and boyfriend. Now, when you went to college now, you have this new board mate. Of course, he's with you. Your room is just next to one another. And then every time she's taking a bath, you can smell as she passes along. And then you have this interest on her. See? You can never be satisfied. Insatiability. So that's a greatest problem that we are facing right now. The demands of the resources. The resources are very, very scarce. So we have to use it wisely and effectively. Take note your contract here in Lady Colleges is only 4 years. And that 4 years, you would consume, I think, 400,000 for that alone. Boarding house, uniform, workbook, fare, uh, and other activities. If there would be some tendency that you have a lot of INC or drop subject, you would extend to 6 years, but the resources of your parents are no longer available. So what will happen to you? You will go back to your area. You go back to become what? Driver of a pedicab. You want to climb the coconut tree. That's the only thing that would happen because you are not using the resources effectively. Now, in the definition of economics, we can derive therein the two words, which is very, very important. The sources also, we have the wants and needs. So what is a distinction of your wants and that of your needs? What should we satisfy first, our wants or our needs? Okay, needs are the things that would satisfy the gut level needs of men, such as food, shelter, and clothing. You cannot survive without having your needs. While when you speak of wants, these are merely desires. You just want it because of prestige. Name, example, Chanel original, iPhone. You can have a cell phone that is not a that is not a touch screen or even just a keypad phone. It's actually a need, but you can use a keypad. But the needs and the wants of a person varies. Okay, say for example, you need I really need an air conditioned room. It's not a want, it's a need. Okay, for you it's a luxury, but for me it's really a need. How about sex? How would you define it? Is it your need or is it your want? It depends on you actually. So the needs and the wants varies from one another. But remember the basic need, food, shelter, and clothing. Right now as a student, you do not need to eat at McDonald's, Jollibee. Your snacks is only isaw. That's the proper thing to do. Ang isaw ka lang muna, okay? Yung snacks mo naman, wag masyadong Jollibee, McDonald's. Wala ka nga naisasabit na assignment sa akin, magma-McDo ka pa. Hindi mo na nga naintindihan yung lesson, mag-Jollibee ka pa. Pahiya ka naman, no? So, nagbigay ng allowance sa'yo. Okay? So, I have a short film for a detailed discussion. Just watch it for a while.
Globalization is the global nature of businesses, the merging of economies, cultures, societies, aided via the evolution of communication and transport. It is a major modern economics concept and undeniable that the global economy is important to every nation and that we are more interdependent and globalized than ever before. What are the characteristics of globalization? 1. Increased investment flows. The GFC showed how global our financial networks are. 2. World trade rising as a proportion of world gross domestic product. Just look in your local supermarket the next time you pick up your Brazilian oranges. And 3. Increased migration. Look around you. We are a melting pot society. What has caused globalization? 1. Trade liberalization, a fancy term for free trade, which the WTO has been pushing and the rising number of trading blocs securing. 2. Capital market liberalization. Again, the GFC showed how deregulated our banking sector has become. 3. Political change resulting in the opening up of China and the former Soviet Union. The end of the Cold War has enabled global trade and China has become the world's factory. 4. Reduced cost of transport and communications. Ship freights are so big the Panama Canal has had to be widened, so imagine the economies of scale there. We can make a Skype call across the world for pennies. 5. Increased significance of MNCs. Some MNCs have bigger turnovers than the GDP of some countries. The role of some global organizations has been important too. G20, WTO, IMF, and the World Bank. G20 is a forum for the traditional top 20 world economies to discuss and encourage global trade. The WTO is an organization of 159 countries all signed up to encourage trade liberalization. As there are 195 countries in the world, this is a big organization. The International Monetary Fund is concerned with monetary stability in the world economy and can provide advice or loans to troubled economies, thus preventing them from putting up trade barriers in a panic. Greece has been bailed out by these guys in conjunction with the World Bank 3 or 4 times. The World Bank was set up in 1944 to fund reconstruction of war-torn economies via providing finance and advice to the Third World. This encourages free trade rather than protectionism. All of these bodies help support globalization.
Okay. So for your assignment next meeting, you have to place it in 2 long common run illustrations of your needs and that of your wants. 10 needs, then 10 wants, and explain why is it a need for you, and explain also the other coupon brand why is it a wants for you. That's all for today. Have a good day and I love you guys. Hope to see you sooner. God bless. Stay safe. Stay at home.